Welcome to the listening room, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my collection, mostly CD collection, for my very favorite thrash metal band of all time, Overkill. These guys have been cranking out studio albums since 1985. They have 21 of them. One of the hardest working bands in metal for sure. They've released an album at latest every 3 years. Except for one time where it's been a 4-year gap. And I'll go ahead and show you guys that way later down the road as we're going through this video. But I wanted to show you guys, usually I do this as a CD collection. I'll probably have that mostly in the title. But I do have 1987's 5-track mini LP recorded live 1987, the record they tried to ban on Caroline Records, and it's going to be, well, this. If this video is banned because of it, I don't really care, but nonetheless, I do like to it smells like a classic record. I really like that might be weird for some people, but I really do like the smell of older records. Has a great track list. Obviously, the title track, Rotten to the Core. Actually, I think the title track I don't think is live. Is it live? Maybe it is. Rotten to the Core, Hammerhead, Use Your Head, and Electro Violence. This is was released before their first studio album, I believe, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember. But this was released in 1987, which is really cool. This is a Canadian pressing, isn't it? Oh no, this is a US press. Jacket's made in Canada. Cool. So I wanted to show you guys that because this was a cool record to add to the collection. It's not in perfect shape by any stretch, but it's in good shape. And I just wanted to show you guys that before we got into the rest. My desk is an absolute wreck right now. Just needing to clean that up for sure. But I do also have this one, which is the deluxe version to that. This has let's see, all this is recorded. So it says the first 5 tracks on here. The FU is the studio, okay. Then Rotten to the Core, Hammerhead, Use Your Head, and Electro Violence, and also FU Live. Those were recorded, it says, live in 115-degree heat at the Fantasy Theater in Cleveland, Ohio on June 3, 1987. But then it adds Hole in the Sky, Evil Never Dies, shows END there, Rotten to the Core, Fatal Swallow, The Answer, and then Overkill. Recorded live at the Ritz, New York City, January 27, 1990, by Westwood One from the historic EP Overkill, which I thought the EP was 1984, but I don't actually know. But anyway, I don't have an original one of those, but that's okay. I also have some live CDs I'll show you guys a little bit later. We're going to go through the studio albums first. Beginning in 1985, Feel the Fire. This has classics on it. I'm most familiar with the earliest and more recent catalog, but I like every single album I've heard. I don't think they ever released a bad record. Rotten to the Core, classic. Raise the Dead, awesome. Hammerhead, Feel the Fire, title track. I say title track, band title track? Not really. Overkill, Kill It Command, great debut. Very raw sounding. It's awesome. 1987, 2 years later, they released Taking Over, which is an excellent album as well. Deny the Cross is a great opening track. It's not what I thought it was when I first heard it. I thought it was if it is it doesn't sound like anti-religion, but what do I know? Great opening track though, nonetheless. And then Wrecking Crew, Fear His Name is awesome. Fatal of Swallowed, Power Surge. Then Overkill 2, The Nightmare Continues was pretty cool. Just over 7 minutes. Great follow-up album. They did not have a sophomore slump. If anything, they cranked up the heat. A year later, they release Under the Influence, and basically every single album they have features Charlie which is their mascot. Kind of like Iron Maiden's Eddie, but this is Bat, the Skull Bat, I guess. And except for the first two, I think he's on every single album after that. And they basically have only great album covers as well. The first two are okay. Just a shot to the band. It's not bad though, but I think they definitely get better from here, especially when they crank that up. But Under the Influence opens with Shred. It's awesome. Never Say Never. Hello from the Gutter. Brain Fade is probably my favorite on the album. It's awesome. And then Overkill 3, Under the Influence. They have 5 Overkill songs, but I think this is the last one they did for a little bit. So and Head First also is awesome. I forgot about that one. Great album. One of the earliest ones I heard of them. This was the earliest I heard of them. Actually, what's funny, when I first heard of Overkill, I checked this album out first, which is probably their classic and one of their most recognized. The Years of Decay, awesome album cover, loved it. Elimination was the first song I heard from them. It sounded like Master of Puppets to me at first. And while I still think that in some ways, it definitely has its own unique style. Time to Kill is an awesome opener. Elimination obviously is great. I really like that song. That song got me into Overkill. Playing with Spiders, Skull Crusher is just over 10 minutes long, but is really doomy. When Overkill does doom songs, they do it really well. But they're basically just thrash metal band, and here and now they'll play some doomy songs, and that's a great one. Years of Decay, title track, Evil Never Dies is great. 1989 release. And then the other album that got me into Overkill, and it's really awesome as well, Horoscope. Heard this one so many years ago, and I still have very fond memories listening to it while we were on a vacation. I'm gonna look because interesting. There it is. This is the alternate cover right there, which is, I think this whole thing opens as a poster, doesn't it? And it has this, shots of the band, and then the lyrics on the back. But this has such great stuff on it. I like this as the album cover better for sure than the other one, but the other one's not bad. It's just not as good. Coma is a great way to open it. Blood Money, Thanks for Nothing. Title track, Horoscope, Frankenstein. Live Young, Die Free, Nice Day, For a Funeral, Solitude. Great stuff. And then, who was it that left? You would think I would have looked this up correctly. Who left the band? Which guitarist? They've had so many lineup changes, by the way. The constant members are their bassist, Dee Verney, and their lead singer, Bobby Blitz Ellsworth. Let's see. They've had Dave Linsk on lead guitar since '99. They've had Derek Taylor on rhythm guitar and backing vocals since 2001, and they switched drummers recently in 2024, and it's been Jeremy King. But who left on? Or was it Bobby Gustafson left the album before, I believe? And then Merritt Grant and Rob Canavino took over, I believe. It was on this one. From what I'm looking up, I could be wrong. Sorry, guys, but I should have looked this up before the video started. Then they have their, I think this was really successful and also a recognizable album. I Hear Black in 1993, lasted 2 years after Horoscope. I'm not super familiar with this one. I have heard it once, and I honestly, I didn't love it. Dreaming in Columbia was okay. Title track. It's not as, this is the start of them, not quite as thrashy. This is getting to the middle period where from here to 2007, I really like the albums, don't get me wrong, but they are not quite as memorable. They're like as the earliest stuff from Horoscope back and the most recent stuff from 2010 on for me. But, you know, this is not a bad effort. Had more groove to it. You know, what Pantera was doing. The Overkill never lost their thrash edge, for sure. But they never, but they really ramped it up after this middle period, I would say, of the band. WFO is pretty darn heavy, though. I really like this one. And I have listened to, I believe, all of these. I heard this one the other day, actually. It was really good. Where It Hurts, Fast Junkie, They're Young's awesome. R.I.P. Undone, Supersonic Hate, Bastard Nation. It's a good closer. They have great opening tracks, by the way. Like Where It Hurts is awesome. All of their, I think basically all of their openers. Ooh, I should do an Overkill album opener ranking and closer. They have great openers and great closers for the most part, for sure. Their openers are actually all awesome. Or at least for the ones I've really heard. I haven't heard this one in such a long time, though. It's been 2020, The Killing Kind. I heard all of Overkill's albums in 2020 on the way to Colorado. It was a trip. It was late 2020. So it was kind of hard to navigate it, for sure. But I do remember being in the car and just that road trip, and I listened to all these albums, and them and Megadeth both, actually. And I was really blown away by Overkill, and even I really liked Megadeth too, but Overkill for sure was just like, wow, this is a great band. But I don't really remember this one too well, so I'm going to have to listen to this again. Actually, this one doesn't feature Charlie on the front of it, but it is relevant to the title, From the Underground and Below. It Lives is good. And I don't remember so much of the rest. Space Truckin', I think it says it's a bonus track, but that's I think that's a cover of Deep Purple's Space Truckin', if I'm not mistaken. And also all these albums are in their little slip covers, or this little like plastic cover. I've heard all these at some point. I like to keep these in them, but they are opened, which is nice. This is a Japanese one, which is interesting. They're not all US copies. This is down there. It's harder to see it, but there we go. Yeah. But yeah, no, I look forward to hearing this one again, because I remember liking this one, but I don't really remember loving it. Or I do remember loving it, but I don't remember it too well. This one I've had a weird history with. I haven't loved this album. I thought it was good. I didn't really love it when I heard it, so I'm gonna have to hear it again. Necroshine. Weird album cover, but I always liked it. I always loved the mascot Charlie on the front. That was really cool. The rest of the album cover was kind of something, but I really liked that album cover a lot because of just the way Charlie looks. The title track I think I like My December. And I think and Let Us Pray, but I don't remember much after that. So I'm just going to have to listen to it again and see if it falls flat. Or if I just really like it and just need to rehear it. So yeah, 1999 was that release. I don't think I've been given years. That's great. WFO 1994, Killing Kind 1996, From the Underground and Below 1997, Necroshine 1999, Bloodletting was 2000, so they enter their third decade and second millennium and century. Thunderhead's an okay opener. It's not one of their better ones, but it's not bad. Bleed Me. Don't remember too much of this album now that I look at the track listing after that, which is weird. Not one of my favorites of their album covers, though. It's on the lower spec. It's not awful, but it's not ideal. It's Charlie for sure, but it's a little weird. But it's not probably my least favorite of theirs. It's just okay. I haven't heard this next one, I don't think, really at all. Some of these were not, I don't think, available on streaming. Or if they were, I just kind of glossed over this one. It's Killbox 13. Actually, I don't think this was on streaming when I was hearing it. I downloaded it all the albums that were on YouTube Music, and I don't think this was on there. So I don't remember it. So I look forward to listening to this one for sure, though. It's going to be interesting. This one I do like. The production I really do like on this album. I don't know why. It sounds very echoey. And I shouldn't like it, probably, because I don't think it's what people would consider good production, but I do enjoy it. And it's Relics 14. I don't know. I just like the background sound. It sounds echoey. It sounds cool to me. But, you know, Within Your Eyes I like. Love's Not Bad. Loader Rack. Bats in the Belfries. Very memorable. I think Old School was a big hit on this album, but it's not a bad song, but it's not one of my favorites on the album for some reason. It should be. This was released in 2005. The last one was 2003. But it's funny. Killbox 13, Relics 14. You know how they did the 13 and 14. I think that's how you pronounce it, Relics 14, but it's been complete divide on how you actually say it. I think. But I think Relics 14 is how you should say it. Then 2007 comes around, and I actually have 2 copies of this. And I really like the album cover on this. Super memorable. Immortalis. The music... I've tried to love this album because I really like the opening song, Devils in the Mist. What a great opening track. To me, the rest of the album doesn't hold a candle to that song. Now, it's not awful by any stretch, but I think Devils in the Mist holds, like... it's such a strong opener, and the rest doesn't hold up for me as well. Skull and Bones is good. They did Overkill 5, the brand. Where did I miss Overkill 4, though? I think I've looked this up before, but what album is Overkill 4 on? Or did I already read it? Is it on the Years of Decay? I have no idea what Overkill was. That's weird. Well, in the comments below, put it if you can. Because Overkill 5, the brand, is on this, but where's Overkill 4? And where did I miss it? Because I feel as though I'm probably just being silly. I do have the second copy of it, though. I just picked this up recently. Hard to find it. I've been looking for it for years, but live at Wacken Open Air 2007. This is the CD DVD copy. I wanted this because this has the bonus tracks on the CD of Within Your Eyes, Nice Day for a Funeral, and Blood Iron. They're live bonus tracks. If you get the digipack copy of this, they doesn't have that, I don't think. Plus, I don't like digipacks so super well. But live at Wacken Open Air 2007, Rotten to the Core, Elimination, Necroshine, Thanks for Nothing, Skull and Bones, which is on this album. In Union We Stand is on, I think, the last album. No, it's not. I don't remember. Oh boy. This is embarrassing. Walk Through the Fire, Wrecking Crew, Old School, and FU. I really wish they did Devils in the Mist live on here. They didn't play a whole lot from this album. But it's not a bad album, but it's definitely hasn't been up to this point one of my favorites. Even though Devils in the Mist is probably a top 10 Overkill song for me. So yeah, they're not as heavy as they were in the early days. They weren't quite as thrashy. And so to this point, you know, what do they do from here? I don't think that album sold a lot. But this next album changed the game because they released Ironbound, which I don't know if a lot of people had a lot of expectations for, released in 2010, but that album is a scorcher and punches you in the face. With an album cover like that, does that surprise you? I mean, maybe not, but maybe it does. I don't know. It's one of the best album covers they ever had. The Green and the Black, what a way to open the album. It's so memorable and great. And it starts off kind of doomy, and you're like, oh, where's this gonna go? Then it punches you in the face with the riffs. It's awesome. Title track, Ironbound, is so sick. It's awesome. Bring Me the Night, The Goal Is Your Soul, this In Vain. This whole album's top to bottom's awesome, and it kicked off what I would say this album on would kick off some of the best albums of their career. I would say of the beginning, middle, and later period albums. These albums hold up with the earliest stuff, in my opinion. I've seen this new stuff in the top 10s of a lot of people, and I absolutely agree with it. The Electric Age. I do not have the bonus track CD yet. I'm thinking about getting it. I might not. We'll see. It doesn't really. I think it has just live bonus tracks, but thought about getting it. It's expensive though. Come and get it. Electric Rattlesnake's awesome. Save Yourself. Good Night. You know, good stuff. Great album cover. And they have great album covers here on, except for... Actually, no, all those are good album covers in my opinion. That one's really memorable though. I really like these more recent albums that they've done. They've just been kicking your butt over and over, and it's awesome. That was 2012. 2014, White Devil Armory. You know, this one I'm probably the least familiar. Actually, yeah, I'm the least familiar probably with this one of all the most modern stuff. But the Armorist, Bitter Pill, Another Day to Die, King of the Rat Bastards, In the Name, good stuff. I think this has a deluxe copy too, but I didn't get it either. I don't know if I will. But we'll see. I don't like Digipack, and I think they're mostly on Digipacks. Speaking of Digipacks, the next two I have on Digipack, but I'm going to probably part ways with them because I like Jewel Case the most. I'm not like... If I have a Digipack, I'm not usually going to replace it, but if I have the opportunity to get one that's in Jewel Case, I will, just because they hold up a lot better. And this one was cool because it had the bonus track on it. And this is The Grinding Wheel. This is the Korean copy, South Korean copy, I think. It's gotta be. But Mean Green Killing Machine was awesome. Our Finest Hour. So we'll go to Hades. Title track. Emerald is a Thin Lizzy cover, I believe, and it's awesome. It's really good. Yeah, 2017 release. 2019 Wings of War. The Wings of War. It's awesome. Really killer stuff on here. Last Man Standing. Believe in the Fight. Head of a Pin. Batshit Crazy. Welcome to the Garden State. Nod to New Jersey right there. Out on the Roadkill. It's awesome. Great stuff. And this has 3 bonus tracks: In Ashes, Sonic Reducer, and We Gotta Get Out of This Place. This was a 2019 release, and then COVID hits. They were going to release the next album more recently, but they were unable to probably do that. So this was the first time in their entire career where they had gone longer than 3 years without releasing a studio album since they started releasing albums in 1985. But 2023 comes around, and I'm looking forward to this album. And I get it. And it blows my head off. It is so freaking good. Scorched 2023. One of their best album covers, and honestly, one of my favorite albums from them. Title track. Scorched. What an awesome opener. The Surgeon is awesome. Twist of the Wick, awesome. Wicked Place, awesome. Won't Be Coming Back, awesome. So I was Going Home, I skipped that up somehow. Bag of Bones is a great closer. The entire album kicks your butt. It's awesome. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. And also I have... let me grab it real quick. This came with the CD. I bought it, but this is the signed... This is the band when they signed this little card here for the album Scorched, and that's not even the same lineup that they have anymore, obviously, but really cool that they signed that. Okay, we're at the live stuff, and you know, I don't know what's the order of these. I think it's these. It doesn't matter. Oh well. Okay. This is Wrecking Your Neck Live. This has a ticket stub in it that I was sent when I bought it online. I've never seen Overkill live. I want to, big time. But just look at this. Oh my gosh, it will not. That's so irritating. Okay, we're gonna open this up. This is the album cover, which is awesome. 1985 to 1995. This has 2 CDs on it, and this is the little ticket stub that came with it. Come on. Maybe if it blocks me. It's super hard to read, but if you can, kind of right there. $12 tickets. So lame. Why are tickets so expensive these days? This was Sunday, February 22, 1998. The Trocadero Theater? It's Philadelphia, I believe. It's really cool. $12. Obviously, that wouldn't be $12 these days, but it wouldn't be the amount of money it is now. That's a really cool little piece of history to have, is that ticket stub. I like ticket stubs, but you actually usually have to pay a lot of money to get ticket stubs that you never even went to the concert. So when this was included, I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. So they must have seen, so they saw them at some point. This has good stuff on it, obviously. But yeah, really cool. Glad to have this. Then next up, I think this is next. This is Wrecking Everything. I picked up these next 2 albums very recently. I only had Wrecking Your Neck as the only live album from them for a while. This has good stuff on it from the middle period. A decent bit from Necroshine and Bloodletting, actually. So it's got some good stuff on it. Actually, it's got stuff from Killing Kind on it too. It's really neat. So it's got those late 90s, a lot of late 90s tracks on it, which is neat. But then I picked up this because, quite frankly, I didn't expect it to get it for this price because it's not usually cheap. But live at, it's hard to see it, Oberhausen, but they've crossed it off and done Overhausen. This has, it's really neat. Really like this. This digipack's in really great shape for what it's worth. It's the only Overkill album now that I own that isn't on jewel case, which is, it is what it is. It's fine. But it's got Horoscope Volume 1, which is entire Horoscope album, and then Feel the Fire. Horoscope Volume 1, which is that whole album, and then Feel the Fire Volume 2. They add Overkill and FU at the end. I think actually that was on there, but anyway. And then the Blu-ray has Horoscope Volume 1 and Feel the Fire Volume 2. So that's really neat that they did that, and I look forward to really hearing this. So yeah, there we are. Thank you all so much for watching this incredible video of Overkill. If I'll just hold up pretty much everything I showed you. That's the CDs right there. Awesome. Love this band. I always have loved them since I first heard them. Check them out if you haven't. Especially the stuff from 85 to 91 and 2010 to 2023. Middle stuff's not bad, but I wouldn't recommend you start there. If you really like the stuff you're hearing, I would say check those out. But, if you just think they're okay, just check out the middle, or just check out the earliest and late stuff. It's all really great. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.